Hello and welcome! Today I'm going to show you how to make one of these crochet dish scrubbies. Let's talk about the materials you'll need to create this. First, I have this Red Heart Scrubby yarn. You can buy this just about anywhere. It does come with a little crochet scrubby pattern right here to make little circles. Now, while these make great scrubbies, I like my scrubbies to be a little bit bigger, and in addition, since this is beginner-friendly tutorial and this yarn is difficult to work with and around, I opted to do a square of the moss stitch instead. Now, the finished scrubbies will be in water frequently, which means not all yarns are suitable for this. The Scrubby yarn is 100% polyester, which in addition to the fun texture it has, makes it perfect for scrubbies. It can be difficult to use, so if you'd prefer, you can use any cotton yarn instead. So right here I have a scrubby I made using some 100% cotton yarn in blue. I believe that this is from the Peaches and Cream brand, but if I'm going to be honest, I didn't write it down, so I can't be 100% certain. You'll also need a crochet hook. I have my Boyer ergonomic handle 5.75mm or US size J. This is one of my standard hooks that I use. A pair of scissors, any craft scissors will do, you do not have to get fancy. And a wide eye yarn needle. If you are using the Scrubby yarn, it is important that it has this wider eye, just because it will make your life a lot easier. If you have one that's really thin, it's going to be just a little bit difficult. Now that we've talked about everything we need, let's get started. First things first, we are going to take our yarn and we are going to make a slip knot. So there are tons of different ways to make a slip knot. This is just how I personally do it. So I'm going to take my yarn with the very short end between my middle finger and my thumb, and this will run like that. In all reality, it doesn't matter, but we'll run over my index finger. I'll take my other index finger, my dominant hand's index finger, and bring it behind my strand of yarn. I'm going to twirl downward, then back up, so I have a loop on my index finger. Now I'm going to take this strand of yarn, my long strand that is connected to my ball of yarn, and I'm going to pull this through the loop that I just made. Perfect. And that is a slip knot. Go ahead and take your hook, insert it into that slip knot, fasten it down just a little bit. Now we are going to chain 28. Now if you need assistance with the very basics of crochet, I do have a video just for you. I will make sure to put a link in this corner right here. Like I said, I'm going to be chaining 28. This pattern works for any multiple of 2. So as long as the number of chains is an even number, 2, 4, 6, 8, etc., then this pattern will work out just fine. I'm going to keep going until I have my chain of 28, and I will see you at that point. Alright guys, I have chained my 28 here. Now I'm going to insert my hook into the 4th chain from the hook. In that 4th chain, we will do a single crochet. So remember that this little loop that goes over my hook does not count as a completed chain. And again, with this yarn, you really have to work by feel. So I feel 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. That is my 4th chain from the hook. So I'll insert my hook here, drop a loop. I have 2 loops on my hook, drop a loop again. Perfect. So now I have this nice little chain spot right here, nice open spot. Then I have that single crochet. Now I am going to chain 1. I'm going to skip a stitch down here, then crochet into the next stitch. So there will always be one chain in this first row that we are not working into. So again, we skip one, I'll single crochet into that second. Single crochet. Now we will continue to do this all the way across. So we'll chain 1, skip 1 chain, work into the second chain, and do a single crochet. One more time, chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet. Perfect. Now go ahead and do this all the way across. When you get to the end, come back and we will chat at that point. Alright guys, I've gotten to quite nearly the very end of my first row. So I've chained one, or I've single crocheted in here and then chained one. I'm going to work my very last single crochet in this very last chain. Amazing. And now I have a very fuzzy length of crochet right here. Now here at the end, I'm going to chain 2. I've seen people do the moss stitch with only chaining 1, and that is just fine. However, I find where this yarn is hard enough to find the holes to insert your hook into already, I'm giving just a little extra room over here. So we're going to chain 2 at the beginning of every row. Now turn your work. Now we will not be working into the top of any chain or of any stitch from here on out. Instead, we are going to, with our fingers, find the gap from the chain 1 space from row before. Now single crochet into that chain 1 gap. Perfect. And that leaves a nice little loop over here for us to crochet into in the next round. Chain 1, and same thing, we kind of have to just go by feel. There we go. There's a chain 1 space, single crochet in here. So you'll continue to do that, chain 1, then single crochet into the chain 1 space from the previous row all the way across. And really, that's it. Every row from here on out will be the exact same. You will chain 2 at the very beginning of the row, single crochet into the first chain 1 space, then you'll chain 1 and single crochet into the next chain 1 space all the way across. Okay guys, I am nearing the end of my second row here. Now I just worked into this chain 1 spot right here. I still need chain 1 right here. Then this right here is my little loop from the beginning of the round 1. So this is when we worked into the 4th chain from the hook. This is that 4th chain from the hook. This is that little space that we made. So go ahead and put a single crochet into that last space. Perfect. Now I will do another row with you. So we're going to chain 2, just like always. Always and forever for the rest of this little pattern, we'll chain 2 at the beginning of our row. Now again, with my fingers, I can feel that this right here, this V, that is the last single crochet that I made. That makes this big hole right here the last chain 1 space. So I'll insert my hook in here, do a single crochet, chain 1. This is my last single crochet. Here's a chain 2 space. Amazing. Now again, I will do this all the way across. I will show you the end of this row one more time. I will see you at that point. Alright, so this was my last, or I just did a single crochet right here. I'm about to do my last one. So if I feel right here at the end, this is my chain 2 from the beginning of that round. I will insert my hook into that chain 2, do a single crochet, voila. I have a fuzzy little strip right here all ready for me to keep it going on this moss stitch. Now you can go as long or as short as you want. I want this to be approximately square, so I think I'll do about probably somewhere between 26 and 28 rows, just until I get a good feel. I'm willing to bet I go closer to the 26 row side of things. I'll keep crocheting off camera and then I will come back to you once I've reached my desired length. Again, I think I'll go to a grand total of about 26 rows. Welcome back everybody. This is approximately what your scrubby will look like after 26 rows. Now the next thing we need to do is, now that we've come to the very end of this row, is we're going to cut our yarn, leave a nice long tail for sewing. There we go. Pull this yarn through that last stitch and now thread a yarn needle. Now this thread, or this yarn in particular, is difficult to get through a typical yarn needle. So I have this wide-eyed one that I think I just got for free in a little pack I bought a long time ago. But this wider eye is much easier to use when threading this yarn. Now I'll flip this over in this direction. There is no particular method that is necessary for weaving this in, especially because it is this scrubby material. It is very forgiving. Anywhere you want to weave it in will be just dandy. Perfect, and that hides that little knot I made very nicely. Now we'll cut our yarn right here at the very end, boop, and move on to the beginning yarn tail. This is unfortunately another problem with this yarn, is it likes to get tangled very, very easily. Here we go. Perfect. Now we'll cut this end. Perfect. This is a finished scrubby. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've learned something today, or at least been entertained, please give this video a thumbs up down here in the bottom left hand corner. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to my channel down here and hit the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I post a new video. Once a week I post a video that is either a beginner friendly crochet pattern, just like this one, or a step-by-step stitch tutorial. Thank you again, and ta-ta for now.